is Amanda, or Miss Amanda by what many of my students call me. I have been a daycare teacher now for almost 2 years and currently working at a daycare teaching the 2-year-old class. Being a daycare teacher is such a great gift and reward if the proper steps are taken. Many people think being a daycare teacher is just a walk in the park. All you have to do is sit there, change a few diapers, read to them, sing a song here or there, but actually there's a lot more that goes into being an effective daycare teacher. For example, education, communications, and a category I like to call additional tasks. And in this category is just some random, off the topic kind of information. To begin with, education. Very, very important. No matter what career field one may be going into, education is always there and is always needed. In most daycare facilities, one must have at least a high school diploma. But also, you have to complete what's called the state-regulated 40-hour course. And in this 40-hour course, it's actually divided up into two different things, a 30-hour course and a 10-hour course. Inside the 30-hour course, you get 5 different tests you have to complete and pass in order to be certified. For example, child care facility rules and regulations, health, safety, and nutrition, identifying and reporting child abuse and neglect, child growth and development, and behavior observation and screening. And the other 10-hour courses is kind of like the area of your choice. And what I mean by this is you're going to take the course associated with the age group you're going to be teaching. For example, since I teach the 2-year-old toddlers, I took and passed the infant and toddler appropriated practices. Education, like I said, is very important. And this 40-hour course, it helps you be a better daycare teacher and learn and be able to, understand what's going on inside the classroom. Also in education is an area one must complete within the first year of becoming a daycare teacher, and that's the 5-hour early literacy program. And this just helps you to be able to communicate more with children and talk to them and just broaden your classroom. And finally in education is ongoing education. What I mean by this is each person has to have a minimum of 10 training hours per year. And in these training hours you can attend seminars or training classes that teach you how to do different art projects with kids, or science, or how to deal with issues you're having with children of different ages. It's very important. Even if you've completed your 10 hours, it's still a very good idea to continue along with the training classes because one can never learn too much. The next topic I'd like to discuss is communication. To me, this is the most important category when dealing with children and being a daycare teacher. Communication is important no matter what career field one may be going into. One needs to be able to communicate with their customer, employees, or employers, or along those lines. A daycare teacher or a teacher of any sort is not much different. A teacher has to be able to communicate with their parents, students, as well as staff members. When dealing with staff members, they may have attended a class or a seminar, or just have different opinions and ideas on what to do that you're not aware of. And being able to talk to them, they'll help you, learn new things, as well as help you learn and deal with issues that you're not sure of how to, deal with at the time. Communicate with your students. Everyone needs to communicate with their child, and when you communicate with your child, get down to their eye level. When you're 5'6" like I am and talking to a 2-foot child, they're not going to understand what's going on. Having to look up at you, they're going to lose, their eyesight and their train of thought, to focus on you. Get down to the eye level and talk to them in a child-friendly voice. Don't use words they're not able to understand or things like that. Finally, communicate with your parents. This is very, very important. Having, to let them know what's going on with their children throughout the day, good or bad. Make sure you talk about the good things, not just the bad things. And just overall let them know the things that they learned throughout the day. For example, in circle time, each week we have a color of the week, a letter, a shape, a number, songs of the week that we teach the children. So let them know what's going on with that. When I teach, at the end of each day, I send home what's called All About My Day. And in that, I list the different things we learned, what they ate, their nap times, how their behavior was, and also if they need anything for, the next day of the week, diapers, blankets, change of clothes, things like that. The next area is additional tasks. Like I said, the additional task is how to properly change a diaper and how to properly complete a lesson plan. People think just changing a diaper is easy. You take it off, wipe the bottom, put a new one on. Actually, in the daycare I work at, there's actually 11 different steps we have to follow. From getting all your supplies out, to applying ointment if you have a written consent from the parent, that is, and being sanitary. You know, make sure you wipe everything down, wash your hands, wash the child's hands. We wipe everything down before and after a child. Not one person can be too clean or too, healthy and safe, especially with everything going on. You have to be clean and safe. Also, lesson plan. This is very important. Every teacher has to complete a lesson plan. And like I said, in a lesson plan, the beginning is very simple. For example, mine looks like this. It has the days of the week, Monday through Friday, as well as the different areas we work throughout the day. Circle time, story time, outside time, dance and movement, centers, like art, science, housekeeping, manipulatives, things like that. Filling this part is easy. You just, like I said, it's pretty self-explanatory. You just fill in what songs you want to learn, the books you want to read. The back is another thing. You have to fill in what's called observations. And what this is you have to actually go into a state-regulated book that has the topic areas of physical health, approaches to learning, social and emotional, language and communication, as well as cognitive development and general knowledge. Once you've written down the areas you want to address during that week, then you have to go back and write the standards into the front of the lesson plan. This is very important. One actually can't get by without having a lesson plan. Your class isn't going to go smoothly at all. As we come to the end of my speech, I'd like to just, recap. Make sure you have education and everything's completed. Make sure you communicate well with everything. And just make sure you know how to properly change a diaper according to the daycare you work at and how to complete a lesson plan. Also, this is kind of for any parents out there. Make sure you ask questions. Knowing your child's in the right daycare and safe is by asking all these questions. You can ask one question, you can ask 2 questions, you can ask 1,000 questions. It doesn't matter. If the daycare is able to answer your questions or find the answers if they're not sure, you know your child's in the right place, and make sure they communicate with you. To kind of finish off, and I really appreciate everybody for listening to me during this time, I just want to say children are the single most important resources for our future. Without children, we have no future. Teachers make a difference. We help shape the children of our future. It is the choices we make today that will affect the outcome of our children tomorrow. Thank you so much for listening to me. I hope you have a great evening.